This is a quick video to demonstrate stitching together multiple scan volumes into a single volume. Here I have a scan that has 4 scans together. What I want to do is stitch these all together so that I have a single scan volume. So the first thing you need is the dimensions of each volume, and this is the dimensions of, actually all 4 of these are the same, 1989 by 1999 by 1000. You'll have to double check that. I know because I looked at all these already, I know what the dimensions are all the same. So you have to look and open them up and make sure that when you import them, you use the right dimensions. So we will go to Fiji. We'll say import the raw volume. Raw files are raw, but we need to tell it the dimensions of it. And so these are 16-bit unsigned, which is what standard comes out of the GE CT scanner at the museum. And we need little Indian byte order, and we put in the right dimensions. There's no offset and no gap between samples. And we do not want to use the virtual stack. So we load it in, and this is the first one. Let's see as we go through the stack. So this is like from the teeth and the tip of the snout. This is a mammal, and it goes down to some of the snout there. So the next thing we need to do is load in the second one. So it's the first one. You will need to make sure that the file names for the volume files are unique. So I've appended a -1 here to this one, -2 to this one, and -3, -4 for the others. Otherwise, you wind up with multiple windows here with the same name in them, and when you try and stitch them together, it doesn't work. So then we will load in the second one. And I know it's the same dimensions. I've already looked at it. And there it is. Just move over here. Now, these volumes will have slightly different absorbance characteristics. If we look at a histogram of them, so let's say if we go to, we look at the window level of these, this histogram here will be slightly different for both these scans. We want to get them as close together as possible. So what we will do is we'll go to an image somewhere in the middle of the scan that we feel like has sort of uniform characteristics that represent sort of the dynamic range of the scan. We'll do that in this one. I'm going to do it in this one because you see at the edge here, things get a little wiggy, and the edge here, things get a little wiggy. So we kind of want somewhere in the middle of the scan, in the middle of the scan here, where things kind of look uniform. And so then for the first one, you'll say image, adjust, window level. You'll say auto. It'll tweak it ever so slightly. And then we'll say apply. Yeah, we wanted to do it to every image. We want, yep, every slice. And then we'll go through and kind of look at it a little bit. This looks pretty good. And then we'll do the same thing. Close this window. We'll do the same thing over here. No, not that. For this one, put it somewhere in the middle. And we'll say image, adjust, window level, do auto, apply. Yes. Now these will have, now the histograms between these two scans will be pretty close, which is what we want. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to find a slice that overlaps. So these two scans overlap. So if you go kind of here, you can kind of see there's a section here that's similar to the section over here. We want to find a slice that is the same in both scans. We look for a particular feature, like I'm looking at this tooth here. See if we can find something that's about the right. We're not close yet. Hang on. That's close. Okay, so now we're in the right neighborhood because I kind of look at this feature here and this feature here. I'm trying to like zoom in a little bit. You can hold the space bar down to pan around. So we'll go at like 100%. Control plus zooms you in. Over here, Control plus, 100%. So that's getting closer. So I'm looking at this feature here and like this feature here and this line here. I try and get them as close as I can. Now I'm looking like this little bubble there and that little bubble here. It's not really a bubble, but you know what I mean. Kind of looks like it. So then what I want to do is find a feature in here and in here that's the same. And I want to draw a box to tell Fiji what slice and where in this image is at the exact same spot as in this volume, or this volume and this volume. So I'll go for like this little point here, and then I'll pick another one that's kind of easy to grab down here. So I'll go like that. So that little point there and that little point there. And then in the other scan, go from here to here. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be pretty close. Then we'll do plugins, stitching, deprecated, 3D stitching. We'll check that we want the first stack to be 1, second stack to be 2. When I use windowing, I do 10 peaks. That helps increase accuracy a little bit. I have a colleague, Steve, that likes to do 15 peaks, if I remember right. 10 seems to be okay for me. It doesn't take as long. And then you can also see what that doesn't work right, what the fused output name is, and I'll just call it 1 and 2 dot. Oh, that's fine. Say okay. It'll pop up the status window, and it'll take a little while.
A few moments later.
Okay, and it's done. So here is the fused volume. Sort of flip through it like that. We can see it is 2 of them put together. Now I will take this and I will save it. Save as. I save everything in the NRD file because that's what goes into Slicer, the program I use for doing all my post-processing. Save that out as 1 plus 2, or 1 and 2. Now the next thing I will do is do 3 and then 4 in the same method there. So I'll have a 1 and 2, and I'll have a 3 and 4. Then I load the 1 and 2 and the 3 and 4 in, and then I put them together. Then I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's a few more steps after this that I will do, but this gives you the general idea. When I'm all finished with this, I will then go into image properties, and I'll set the voxel size here. I generally won't do that till the end because it doesn't really matter while I'm fusing it. But you do need to make sure that if you do set the voxel size, that they all need to be the same for all the volumes. Otherwise, you'll get a warning. It might not even do it. But generally speaking, that is the process for doing this, for fusing the volumes together. And hopefully, this will be useful. Thanks for watching.